Hey everybody, this is Highlander Sports. We got Drew and Cole today. We're going to be talking about college football coaching changes and a few other things. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so let's get things started off a little bit. Some major coaching changes have happened today. One of them, Arkansas. You want to talk a little bit about that, Cole?
Yep, Arkansas picked up Chad Morris from SMU. It's a great pick. I believe it's a good pick for them, just judging by just Arkansas. And Brett was a terrible did a terrible job there, I believe. They just recruiting and just stuff like that.
So what's his resume? I mean, what does that look like to you?
Well, to me, when SMU, they used to be a terrible team. They were going 2-10. I think 3 seasons ago when Chad Morris came in, and then after those 3 seasons, Chad Morris has got them bowl eligible at 7-5.
Mm-hmm. Great offensive personnel. He knows what he's doing offensively.
That's what we need. That's what Arkansas needs.
Yeah, Arkansas hasn't been good in a lot of years, so it'll be
very inconsistent.
Well, it'll be exciting to see a good football team maybe come out of that. Next, you want to talk about FSU?
Florida State.
Yeah.
Yep. Florida State just picked up Oregon head coach Willie Taggart, I believe is his last name. Well, he's gonna be. I think he's a good pick up. He's had 2 rebuilding seasons. He was coaching at South Florida. I believe it was like 2000. It was like 2013 or something like that. 14. He started and then he turned the team around. They were 2-10. They turned them around in 10 game winning 10 games. So that's his first 10 game winning season ever.
That's insane.
That's how South Florida Atlantic got this good. And then.
So what do you think their year looks like next year? I mean,
for Florida State?
Yeah.
Well, quote unquote, he said it's not even a rebuilding year for them. It's just a realignment, which I agree. I mean, they've been very good the last several years. I mean, they won a title with Jimbo, and the only bad year was this year. They just lost their quarterback, and they just lost.
So you think they're going to recruit strong this year?
I mean, it's Florida State.
Yeah,
they always
do
pretty good in recruiting.
The only question is how he does it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, we'll see what
I think he will do a good job, especially with DeAndre Francois, their quarterback, and he'll become healthy, and I think they'll be a good.
And you want to touch a little bit on Francois' play style? I mean, what kind of quarterback would you describe him as? I think
he's verging more as a pocket passer than he was last freshman year. Because freshman year he kind of scrambled. I think it's just because of inexperience.
Yeah.
He probably under a little bit of pressure, he might just move around a little bit, get out of the pocket. But I think he's developed very well. And he's actually stepped up.
So you think he's growing?
Yeah, he's growing very.
No, that makes sense.
I just think he has a bad taste in his mouth. But that's the only thing. Trusting his head coach, especially how Jimbo left him. Jimbo didn't say a word. He just walked out.
He said something on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Which is bull. I mean, you can't do that to a player that you trust. I mean,
you should at least, like he said, you could at least call or text me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, blatant betrayal, basically, on Jimbo's part. I mean, I don't know how you do that. That would be like Sean Payton just leaving Drew Brees out of nowhere. Like, what the... I mean, you couldn't even... Yeah, just a little comparison. But, so next, what do you want to talk about? I forgot.
Tennessee.
Yes, Tennessee. There's a lot going on in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The mullet said no.
Yes, he did.
Very loyal and true. Yep. Orange power.
Yeah, but Tennessee, they've been having a bunch of crap go down. Just their AD, they had they didn't fire him, but they just have him on leave and they'll have him on pace roll still. But they got this guy named Fuller in as their athletic director right now. He stepped up, and right now I know they're talking to 3.
They're looking for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they're looking for
coach.
Yeah, because it's SEC. I mean, it's defense. That's mainly what matters.
Alabama's defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah.
My bad on that.
Yeah. Kevin Steele's one from Auburn, and Mel Tucker from Georgia.
Wow.
The rising candidates.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to pick up Alabama's defensive coordinator.
So, my question, what's the most improved team in 2018 from now? If you had to pick
college
right now.
overall?
Yeah, college overall. If you had to pick one.
I think, honestly, Georgia.
Georgia?
I think that was
so
most improved. Last time they won a SEC championship, it was like 2005, I believe, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. Like, ever since Kirby Smart stepped in, they've looked like a potential national title team. So I think he's done a great job there, and he's also won Coach of the Year for SEC, and I believe that was a good call.
What's your take on that, Drew?
I mean, I can agree with that because Georgia in the past years, they haven't been really competing for a conference championship in the SEC, and this year they win it. And they dominated as much as they did besides that one game against Auburn, but then they beat them in the conference championship game. Totally makes up for it, and now they're in the playoffs for it.
They've definitely got a good team this year. I mean, I'm going to say it's going to be a solid match, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So now y'all want to talk about picks for maybe who wins it, championship?
I mean, they're all equally good teams. I don't think there's a clear favorite, like how Alabama's always just so dominant. And last year, how Clemson it was just easy to tell this is going to be Alabama Clemson like last year. But this year, it's like a coin flip. You got Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield, and their high-powered offense is unbelievable. It's nothing like I've ever seen in years, and it's very good. The only thing that makes me don't pick them in because they don't even have a defense. Their defense, their corners are what worries me the most. Because Clemson, if say Oklahoma beats Georgia and Clemson beats Alabama, and Kelly Bryant goes in, they'll pick off his offense or defense like crazy.
Yeah.
I think my pick, personally, I think it's Clemson because they're all-around team. They got a great defense.
Balanced.
They're more balanced, yes. Kelly Bryant, he's very good. I think people overlook him.
Yeah. So, who's your pick, Drew?
I'm going to go probably with Georgia because of their three running backs, and I'm just trying to change things up a little bit because I've been doing some research on them. Their three running backs are truly incredible, and they have dominated, they just straight up dominated the SEC besides their one game against Auburn.
They blew out like almost all their teams. I mean, yeah.
You can't sleep on that.
Yeah. So, now, let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to do Player of the Week. So, for Player of the Week, who do you have this week, Drew?
I'd have to say Baker Mayfield. The way he dominated TCU and the way he's been playing has been tremendous for Oklahoma. The way he's been carrying that team with the most swagger of any player in the country.
Yeah. All right. I see you. What about you, Cole?
Georgia running back, rising star, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. All right. What makes him your Player of the Week?
After what I saw at the Auburn game, the SEC championship, I feel like that's going to be their running back for the next 3 or 4 years, however long he's there. Like after what I saw, he's very good, and he's a big threat for Oklahoma, their next opponent.
All right.
Like I said.
My pick, I'm going to go with Drew and say Baker Mayfield. Especially, I mean, he's basically the Heisman winner this year, so I mean, I think it's well deserved. I mean, the only thing I think that guy needs to worry about is maybe his attitude. But we got some good picks. So next, we want to spin into development of these college football teams. What do y'all think of Florida? Are they going to make a comeback ever?
I mean, I do believe someday they'll make a comeback because for that college and for that tradition,
Yeah, I think
that college will always have a hope.
Yeah, I agree. I think what really made me think they'll have a shot in the next 5 years is because they picked up Dan Mullen from Mississippi State. He's a great coach, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They beat LSU. I think they beat them when they had Dak Prescott, and then they beat us this year. So LSU this year. So I think he's going to do a great job recruiting at a bigger school.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest problems, I think. This year.
When they lost Urban Myers, they started going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
If they could just get a good coach again.
And he's great with quarterbacks.
Well, the thing is, what I'm starting to notice even more and more, especially with these young kids, I mean, if you're going out of high school and you're gonna want play time on a big team and you know you're good, it seems like the only place to go is Alabama or something like that because they get the most TV time. If you're playing for Alabama and you're good, chances are you're going to be, drafted first pick. I mean, it's just insane.
I get what you're saying. If you're good on Alabama, your chances of becoming a pro are excellent.
But
and the SEC does help with that too.
Yeah, but
the same time, LSU. If you look at how many people they have players drafted, beats everyone. They blow Alabama out of the water.
Well,
that's
why
LSU is
people's
at
mentality.
times the most talented team.
Yeah, but sadly, like I've
That's
said,
when Nick Saban kicks in.
Like I've said before, though, LSU is not what it once was. The SEC is not what it once was. To see LSU
this year,
I'm just saying, see LSU
year.
at number 16 this year it's a sad day. It really is because they're a top 10 football team every day of the week. And sadly, as time has gone on, we see more teams from the Big 12, more teams from the Big 10 in these
ACC.
Yeah, ACC.
Can't forget them.
And that's all I'm trying to say is that it's starting to become kind of weaker.
This was a weak year. No.
There's no dominant team, and that's why this is a very hard pick between these four teams in the playoffs right now. It's just so difficult. Every team has a valid reason why they can win this.
The reason why Baker Mayfield is running away with this Heisman campaign is because there's been no dominant players this year.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's the only one that's been dominating college football. Unlike last year and the year before and the year before, there are multiple people dominating. For a minute there, Barkley was dominating.
Yeah.
Then multiple games, he had barely any yards.
Mm-hmm. So, I kind of want to shift leagues again. What do you think of the Big Ten this year? Anybody who stands out from the Big Ten this year for y'all?
I think Ohio State. Like usual. I think people were saying Wisconsin should be in the playoffs. I disagree. I didn't think they
had
were.
their chance. They would have gone undefeated. They would have gotten in, but they didn't go undefeated. That was their only way because of their schedule.
Their schedule was too weak, and they didn't play enough. At least a good ranked team. I think they played. They've played not really any good teams.
They're on the weak side of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So what about next year? Progressing. What are your picks for next year out of the Big Ten?
I think Michigan State's rising.
Yeah.
They'll still have their quarterback, and they've been playing they've been playing pretty good. They beat Penn State, and that's a big step with their starting lineup.
The winner between Michigan and Michigan State will take away that crown, in my opinion, next year. Because Michigan, they're searching for quarterbacks right now. Because I know they got a transfer. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but I remember hearing that he can do good stuff.
Oh, Shea Patterson from Ole Miss? Yeah, because their situation, I saw that as well. I think they're going to pick him up. If they get him, that's all they need.
And then Harbaugh is an excellent coach.
If he stays, I heard something about him leaving. Possibly leaving, I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't see him leaving, but you never know.
Next
I
year,
don't think he will.
Next year will definitely be an interesting year for college football.
I just hope it's more dominant and more competitive.
That's how I feel. College football this year, it was not a good year for college football.
There ain't no undefeated team.
And
besides UCF.
Mm-hmm.
And they deserve. They had the excellent head coach. They had an excellent head coach.
Okay, so let's just change a little bit. Out of all the teams in college football, every team that you think, who are y'all's favorite picks for next year? Coming up, your favorite picks.
It's hard because judging by
playoffs or just
just playoff picks. Yeah,
Oh, that's tough.
I gotta put Bama in there.
Yeah,
that's
Bama,
not a bad pick
always.
Year.
Yeah, they're very consistent. That's hard because the signing period hasn't came yet. Recruiting, and
just judging by coaching and general play style, teams that already have an established team.
Clemson, because they're going to be getting
Kelly Bryant will be
Kelly
there.
Bryant back. So Bama, Clemson.
I agree with that. I'm thinking, I won't say Georgia because they'll lose their top two running backs. I don't know how they're going to look. I think the most stable would be, I think maybe LSU has a shot just because how good their recruiting's every year. They're usually a top 5 recruiting, and they're quarterback away. With Matt Canada, their offensive coordinator, if he does stay, I know he's looking for a head coaching job, but it won't be anything. If he does leave, it'll probably be like some D2 or something. If he actually really wants to leave, but if he stays one more year recruiting, I know he's already traveled all over the U.S. looking for quarterbacks, and I think
last pick, Big 12.
Big 12 for winning the conference.
Yeah,
I say OSU. Why not? I think OSU with their quarterback they're picking up. I've seen his highlights. I think he's gonna if he plays how I'm seeing he plays. I think he's gonna come in.
We will see.
I am a Cowboy, but just by looking to next year, I mean, just from the team that I've seen so far that played really good this year, they have some young players. I'd probably have to say Kansas State because Oklahoma, they're losing everybody.
Yeah. Really?
Oklahoma State, we're losing everybody. I'm just not being biased. Going off Bill Snyder.
I like that. That's an interesting pick. That is a very interesting pick. To see that team now. I mean, now that you mention it, I'm excited to see what kind of football they play next year.
Okay.
As long as no one says Kansas, we're good.
yeah. Right. Let's forget all about that team. So I think this is a good place to end it. From all of us at Highlander Sports, Jared, Drew, Cole, we're signing off. Bye.